Testing, testing, 127, 127. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great week. Well, had a great week because it is Friday. Um, so guys, you're probably wondering why the flipping hell I didn't upload for the last few days. Basically, a couple of reasons. One, I've been very busy. Two, I've been quite stressed out about a few things, which means my mind hasn't been 100%, you know, good to be on the charts. Because you know me, I'm only on the charts if I'm fully locked in, focused 100%. If I have other stuff on my mind, if I have other worries or whatever, I'll work on those first. Come back to the charts after. Just because that way I know that every time I sit in front of this screen, I know that I'm locked in completely. Feel me? Yeah, feel me. Um, Without further ado, lads and ladies, let's crack on with episode 5 of Locked In. It is currently Friday, the 19th of January, 1:30 p.m. London time, which means in an hour, New York slash Chicago session should be coming into motion. Into motion. So let's flip and crack on with the video. It'd be great if you lot could like, comment, or subscribe, or even if you just did one of those three things, it'd be great. Let me just have a little sip. Oh yeah. We're good now. We're good. Let's start. Let's start. GA or GU? Wash. Okay, okay, okay. Free dismember. Connect. Oh no. Oh damn. I mean, it still looks pretty certified to make its way back down here. This pullback's unbelievable. That's on the daily as well. Right, cool. Let me just. So with my strategy, it's quite good because I don't really need um the weekly or daily to be in a trend. Do you know what I'm saying? Like right now, as we can see, we've been GBP USD has been pretty stagnant, down, up. Nothing's really been formed. But here, this has come lower than this area, which means it's a new low. This has failed to breach that, which means that is not a new high, that is a lower high. This took out this area here, came just a little bit lower than this area. So on the weekly, we've been making little lows on the daily, sorry, thought it was on the week time frame. And we had this massive area of volume as our target, which the 50% of this area hasn't been touched, but the box has. So it would be nice to see some candlesticks being drawn into this, maybe see some reaction, catch another little intraday trade. Whoa, did anyone hear that? My chest is doing that flipping wheezy, mate. Okay, so we were 100, we were 123 pips there, 138 pips. So, you know what I mean? Do the maths on that. That's how many pips shy I was from my target. But literally, since last video when I settled this, I haven't been back at the charts. I've just been cracking on. But for the bants of this demo and uh uh, uh fucking hell. As I was saying, for the bants and the sake of this video, I'm not gonna close this. I'm gonna leave it. Um, how many pips is that in prof? 30, 37.5. Hmm. I'm not happy. Like maybe if we get a break of this little trend line, counter trend, we could float back down here. But for some reason, I feel like we could potentially get one more mini push into this region just to touch that area, and then we could really melt down. But it's Friday today, anyways, so it's probably going to be crap. But I mean, it looks like it has good potential still. It's not too bad. 47 pips though, that's crazy. I'm really thinking, do we have it there? Need to shave. Do we have it there on top of these highs? Or do we have it above these ones? Oh, swear, so if you just click on them. Bruh. Yeah, say no more. That's decent. What can I drag it? Oh my days. How convenient and easy is that? That's an unusual satisfaction in that I have. So what were you thinking? Should I put it in break even? Because it's Friday, isn't it? So even if it does come to break even, I got the whole weekend, and then Sunday night, if it looks like it's gonna roll over, I can just jump back in. That's if it takes my break even, which will be good anyways, because then I'll get a better entry. Hmm. But if it doesn't come back up, then I have a risk-free trade running. So you know what? It only makes sense to be honest. Gonna put it, we'll put it there. So let's see if that gets taken. Hopefully, well, not even hopefully, whatever happens, happens, innit? Whatever happens, happens. Anyway, it's time for some tea. Oh yeah, sugar daddy. Right, cool. So now that that's been played around with, ooh, ooh, ooh. Now that that's been played around with, we can leave it. We can leave it. That's unreal. It would be great if price did come back and price came back and actually came into this area of volume and then rejected off of it. That would be great confirmations. So the fact that that hasn't happened yet is it's a little bit suspicious. But let's look at the 15 and see what's going on. So we've got Asia highs up here. Mm, we're getting rejections from all this area, this area. Oh, okay. We've got a London hive being formed here. London is proper choppy as hell. So what I'm potentially thinking now is whatever happens, right? I think whatever happens, both ends of the scale, if this London high gets broken, what's going to happen is we are going to come and touch this area of volume, all right? If this London low gets broken up here. But if not, and we continue to break, we come down here and break this, then it looks like GBP USD will be sinking off for the day. We've got good rejections all here. We are technically underneath this little counter trend line as well. So 2 hour, what's the 2 hour showing us? We could well and truly already have touched it. Do you know what I'm saying? We could just be breaking this trend line and then finding our momentum. Okay, so let's say yeah, there's not much more to say on that, to be honest. Massive wick through, massive wick through, massive wick through. So I'm pretty, if we get a closure underneath here, then we're good. So GU still running, nice. Currently up $180 on that. So that's running pretty decent. What the hell? Let's look at gold. Let's look at the weekly quick. We need to touch into this. As you can see, if I just talk through it, push up, push up, push up, pushed all the way up here, got rejected, pushed down, trapped volume in here, wick to wick. And what you want to do is find 50%. So looking at this here, we're within this piece of trapped volume. where there was no deciders for which direction we wanted to go. And then look, we pushed up out of that area, failed to break, got a 3-pin pattern, back in, come in to the 50, didn't quite touch it, came into the 50 now. So now we've touched it. This is all on a weekly time frame, by the way. So now we've wicked through 50% of this trapped volume. And now, as you can see, we've wicked back all the way up to here. So let's bring that onto the daily now. And what we want to do is pay attention to what's happened right here. So look, there was a little low there, didn't quite come into it all the way. Came back, wick, all right down into this area, right? Rejecting this, getting people to think we're gonna go up, we're gonna buy. And then what does it do? Fake pump, boom. Comes to collect the real liquidity, which is at 2010. In fact, it bottomed out at 2001. But yeah, 2010 is a good little level to pay attention to. This is also, this area also hosts, it hosts a fair value gap or imbalance. Price came into it, not properly though. And then within this imbalance, I'm pretty sure, funny enough, that green line is in 50% of that as well. And it's the same thing, look. The same thing what happened within this region has happened within this region. So the more you go down in time frames, the more it just becomes precise, more precise, more precise, more precise. So for daily fair value gap now we've got a 4-hour one, which is much bigger. But as you can see, look at the reaction of this. It's just a joke. We big pump into it, rejection, pull back up straight above the 50%, pull back beneath, dojis, trap volume, la 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 la. Let's do the same thing that we've just done. So we're gonna draw trap volume, which I say the first one. So you have the 50%, which is this green line, and we have a daily and a 4-hour area of volume. We got a daily. So we have weekly. Sorry, this is so within this big box we have weekly trapped volume, right? Then we narrow it down to a daily imbalance fair value gap. Then we narrow it down to a 4-hour imbalance, but we don't mark on the 4-hour one because it's quite large from there all the way to there. And instead we keep we just keep the daily and the weekly areas with that 50%. But when we come onto the 4-hour, we pay attention to how the candles have broken out of these levels, how they've came into it, rejected, and come out. But what's cool is that we can do the same thing that we've done with the weekly, mapping out the trapped volume, which is what we've done there with the doji, right? And then we see, so we've already had one 4-hour closure above this, massive closure, big candle. Now, within this trapped volume and within this 50%, we've had another huge candle close above it. These are all buy signals. Buy signal, and even the bottom of this wick, to be honest. If you're quick enough, you can get that. All right, cool. But for example, let's delete that. Let's delete that. Let's mark out the 4 hour. Marking out the 4 hour. And this is where you'll be able to get that wick, because that wick out of the weekly and the daily zones that we just had, this wick, you see how like we got a good closure beneath and it came to like down here. It didn't react straight off of that zone. It's because that ain't a 50% zone that it wanted to go from. The real 50% was in the 4 hour fair value gap. And if you see, look, right here, just snatch it to the big candle. Right here, look. And you can just see how rather than a whole candle coming through, a few candles juggling beneath and then coming back above, wick rejection, gone. So it's a case of scaling down, getting more and more accurate points to literally take the market to and from. So we knowing, us knowing gold, right? This is all liquidity right here. We know for a fact candlesticks are going to come back above these zones. We didn't come above here because momentum is so strong on the higher time frames. We're just bearish. So it's taken money here from these sellers, wicked them out. Taken money here, these sellers, boom, took them out of the market. And now we actually sold into that area to collect money so that we can start heading for these higher regions up here. So that's very nice. It's a great area. And it was within two higher time frame um volume bars, which is just great. This is why I had gold twice. Because you can literally just fucking you can look at the chart separately. So with this 50% volume on, with this 50% volume, us knowing that we're above 50% of this weekly volume, taking it into the daily, marking out a daily fair value gap where price has crazy rejected from on the daily time frame, right? We're just going to keep doing it. So this first one's the weekly. This one here is the daily. We'll mark out the daily a little bit darker. So weekly, daily, right? And notice how it's come into it perfectly, just beneath the 50% of the daily fair value gap. We now take that into the 4 hour, find the actual fair value gap, which is here, right? Finding the 50% of that region for the most precise entries. Make this one a little bit darker. So we've got the weekly one here. We've got the daily one here. Then we've got the 4 hour. And I'm going to mark the 50% of that 4 hour. And that gives you the most precise point to take these buys from, which is right there. So if I was live trading, if I was active in the markets, I would have had buyers set up from here. And if I was selling the market, I would have had TPs here. TPs here and all within this 50% of all these areas. Kind of crazy how you can break down a chart like that. So yeah, gold is currently pulling up because of this that I've just explained. And now what you probably could see from gold is crazy price action where we just come all the way back up here and take out all of this. But it's a long stretch. So that's a lovely breakdown of gold. So we know why it's come away from here. Now the question is, where is it headed? Where is it headed? That is the answer that I currently do not know. Simply because we're in uncharted territories right now. Okay. We really are. If we was to come up, I'd just a bit sticky to be honest. I suppose all we can do is take it day by day. Um, so right now we are above the high of 2 days ago, which is Wednesday. So the high of Wednesday, we're now above it, as you can see. Boom, boom, boom. So can we potentially now, as a break of structure, potentially a pullback? No, a little 4 hour area here. Bush, price to come into, bush, price pull away. Or because of the money that we've taken out, we could actually just get catapulted straight up into US, US, 6 a.m. Asia. We could, in fact, get catapulted straight up to here with these two areas. So that area being the first target, that area being the second target. Trying to get an entry for this though. This is the sticky thing. You'd have to wait. I would want a pullback of some sort into here. Collect a little bit of orders and then a pump and then you know that's what I'm gonna go with. But if we don't get this little pullback, then price could well and truly just shoot straight up from here. But yeah, so we'll go for that. We shall go for that. I'm gonna be tracking this because if it comes up, if it does pull in, I'm gonna enter on my paper trading for literal bants and just practice in and out of the charts, managing my trades. I can do it. I just haven't for a couple months because I've been so focused on this, perfecting my craft. So this video is very long, I'll be honest. We've only looked at gold and GU. What is that? So we've had the 4 hour closure beneath that. We're now heading into that London low and that the Asia's here. So London respected Asia, didn't quite break beneath it. So now if we get a closure beneath this, we are gone. We are gone out of there, mate. GA. So GA done something really cool. Finally. Lol. One sec, I'll be back. So if you've been following any of my videos, if you've been watching me at all, you would know that I've been calling GA to come all the way up here for literally around 2 months now. To be honest, maybe even before that, like around 3 to 4 months, because I remember seeing all of this. I've seen all of this happen. And I knew GA was going to come back up here simply because it came down, boom, 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 and melted. And I know on a 4 hour time frame, um, let's just clear this for a sec. So I know on a 4 hour time frame that when this happens, most of the time price comes in, boom, boom, we get a little melt off down to the nearest low. So if you was catching these sells, your targets would have been here. That's where you would have closed out and taken profit because it's a thing where they've made a compression of price and they've squeezed it. It's got see here, it's got quite a big gap from here to here. Then from here to here smaller, from here to here smaller, here to here smaller. And then eventually pressure's too much, rejects, 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 no new highs, boom, we break out. This is a fake push because it has enticed sellers to come into the market long term, looking for targets all the way down here. And really and truly, it was a trap to generate liquidity so that they can pump the market above these areas, taking out stop losses and crazy amounts of money that is formed from up here. So, with that being said, so trapped volume here on this doji, just trying to see how it reacted, came out of it. It's not too clean, to be honest. This one, and then we've got this last little box, this last one, before price, boom, smashed out of it. Let's have a look. So here you can see, so we had the new high, and then GA failed to make a new high. Look, we created lower lows, people thinking, oh, it's going to sell, it's going to sell. We didn't sell. We came into a little area of volume, simply. Um, we then came up, took out this high right here, right? took out that high, came above it, came back below, formed a little area of, little step ladder, as you could say, up, down, up higher, didn't make a new low, came up higher. So now we broke this high, formed an area of volume, came into the bottom of that volume, broke out of it. This is where you really have to, you really have to lock in because this is all happening on the 4 hour, which means on the 15-minute, shit's looking beautiful. So this would have been an entry to go long after seeing that candle there. And we would have had a target of, so I probably would have snatched a 4 hour volume bar from somewhere here. But yeah, so it fake broke out of this, pulled back. Probably people probably thinking, oh, it's making a double bottom. It's making a double bottom. Break and retest. It's broke out of the zone. It's retested, made a double bottom. Now we come by. Silly bollocks. So yeah, they've bought and absolutely been trolled because then it's sunk. Ta-da. So we have the fake pump, then we have the real dump, right? And then and then and then press. So yeah, on the weekly, up above, back beneath. And as you can see, within these two candlesticks, we managed to take out the entirety of this candle, which that is a good reversal indicator. And then we had this wick pull back as well, which confirms that even better. Because if I do my measurements, lads and ladies, if I do on my measurements, what do we see? 50%. So that's just spectacular, really. And then you could have caught sells, just amazing moves, right? Yeah, you get it. You get it. But now that we've had this amazing move, created loads of liquidity here, this was crazy. I just knew this was going to happen. Like I literally, my videos, it's on my YouTube channel. If you don't believe me, just go watch them. It's as simple as that. I've been breaking down gold and GA for ages. So it's just nice to finally see price come into here. With new lows and stuff being formed, I do wonder if we're going to get a straight continuation to the downside. We've had the fake out, we've had the break above to take out liquidity. Now can we get the real thing and come all the way down here? Where can we could be any of these regions, to be honest. But yeah, it's Friday. So now that we know that GA is coming to a very important area, we can wait for sells coming into the new week. And it makes it very simple. Simple for us. Let's delete this shit. Mm. And the bit where price actually moved from. So I say if we get closures beneath this, Then we're headed first to this green line, then to 8,400, and then to 8,200. That's my projections for GA. Euro USD. Um, the Euro USD. What a funny pair. What a funny pair, man. Might have to break this video into two videos, you know. Shit's long. So as you can see, the same sort of concept happening for Euro USD, where we had the squeeze of price, the build up of price, and then a pressure relief, which in this case was to the downside as well. Let's have a look why that could be. Because on the bigger time frames, we are in fact very bearish. Very bearish. Weekly new lows, daily new lows. God damn. Look. Bosh taken out these. Bosh pulled up into that area. We're bearish as fuck. Euro USD bearish as fuck. So now that we know this already, we looked at the chart for 15 seconds. What can we do? So we know it's bearish. So let's wipe everything. Everything. Now let's set up. Let's set up. Trapped volume, trapped volume. Nice wick, nice wick. Um, Price came into that area already. Let's just mark it on. Price came into it. Delete that. So what's happened here? Could we be getting the same sort of thing? Maybe on a smaller scale, where it's not so many candlesticks, no? But are we coming into this area of liquidity slash imbalance, trapped volume? Oh, what were you saying? All right, cool. Yeah. 50%. We are currently underneath that right now. We are beneath it. So we are beneath, well, we're on the 50% mark of a daily area of trapped volume, and we are below 50, sorry, yeah, we are below 50% of a daily fair value gap as well. So maybe what we could see is price come up here, some candlesticks. Even though we've had some candlesticks up here, yeesh, that is looking like it's ready to roll over. This is how we've had this crazy breakdown of price. But we could get a pull up into here though. This is the thing we've got to be careful of. Could be a daily because look, we've been dumping. We've been dumping since the end of December. There's just so much liquidity and stuff. Because I'm too used to GA and gold and a lot of manipulation, I'm always thinking it's gonna get manipulated. Like right here, we got a low bottomed out. First of all, it bottomed out here. Then we got wicks, boom, 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 boom. And then It broke above that, broke the structure, came back down, retested these areas within here, pulled up. Well, look, it didn't make a new high or nothing. And right now, that 50% is coming into play of that trapped volume. So broke above the 50% on the 4 hour, wicked into it, wicked into it. Now can we get the closure beneath and follow up, a follow up of price continuing to the downside. I like the way them candlesticks have formed. This would have been here. The Euro USD. Do you think we have room to come up, to be honest, all the way up here? But it's just a case of if and when that would happen. I just like the way it's doing this. We could just get some, I don't know, man. Euro USD is not my pair, so I literally don't know. I'm just gonna wait and react to what happens rather than try and predict. Sitting on hands. I feel like by the end of today, though, we should be well aware of what's gonna happen next. Or it could just be shit and we float around and then next week, maybe we break above here or whatever. But yeah, gold pulling down perfectly. That's what I want to be seeing. Yeah, that's decent. If we can get this, that is phenomenal. The GA, quick recap, what we're looking for. Oh yeah, we've had this, so we can get beneath this zone, clear for sells. Euro USD, we just discussed this. Maybe Euro JPY. Oh, set something up on this, did not work at all. Really and truly, what I should have done is not look for sells, but look for buys. Because it was just screaming straight bullish. It was very simple, to be honest. Mark out your zones. Boom. This comes up. Off you go. Take a trade from here. Set your TPs literally at this area right here. And that would have been a clean 200 pips. Look, can't go wrong. And that's just from coming on here, noticing that there's a new structure happening. Yeah, we get the first break here, taking all of this out. It forms an order block formation. So you mark that on because that's an area of liquidity slash volume. Price comes away, pulls down into, funny enough, a fair value gap, which is here within this candle. And then we pull away back above this area, coming straight back into 50% of it, and then close above. Entry here, TP's up here. Done and dusted. So that's Euro JPY. I don't think much is going to happen with this now. Maybe we are bullish. So look, that's crazy, man. That just looks like it's going to come all the way up here. So really and truly, we do need a pullback on the higher time frames. And I guess we'll see a breakdown of price on the daily and the 4 hour. As you can see, we've had a break of structure. Price has created a new low. If we get rejections from here and price comes down, could be taking this area out and coming into here. Euro JPY. Hands on your knees. But what can you see? What can you see? What can you see? I can see some trapped volume, which we are in right now. So let's see how the daily and the 4 hour reacts. Are we gonna break above here or are we gonna come out, start trickling below? We've already had crazy 4 hour signals. So yeah, this is looking pretty decent. Oof, look at that. Okay. So it is becoming evidently clearer as to what is going on. We've got, first of all the block. We could either come into that. If we don't come into that, it's because we'll be coming into this fair value gap. 50% will be right there. Just mark that one. Perfect. Delete this. So now what we do is we wait for price to come up here, see what happens. If it rolls over, rejects, we know we're selling. Simple. There's just a whole lot of wickage. Whole lot of wickage. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to leave it as that. That's episode 5 done for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Love, peace, and guidance.